What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. And my special guest today is
Melisa.
Melisa. So it's going to be at Melisa. So pretty cool that she actually has that Instagram username. But instead of, I feel like a lot of the interviews that I do, or a lot of people that I bring onto the channel, I tend to ask them about like what they do and all that stuff. And I feel like that's very cliche. I know that these people are going to be so interested in learning more about you. So instead of talking about what you do, I want them to first understand who you are as a person. Because literally there's the times that I've met Melisa, let's just say she took care of me when I was not in a good state. We went out to LA and stuff like that, and Weston and I were not in a good position, and Melissa's literally the nicest person ever, took care of us and stuff like that. So other than being an amazing human being, I want you to talk about where you're from, because I think that's also going to catch people by surprise. So where were you born?
So I was actually born in Canada, a little town called Kitchener. No one really knows where that is. It's about an hour away from Toronto.
Yeah, no idea. Yep. So, and you still live in Canada?
I do, yeah. I'm in the States frequently. Last year I basically spent the 12 months just traveling, and I just had my house as my home base, and then it was pretty close to the airport at the time. So yeah. I basically just used that as a home base to like do my laundry, pack, and then like head out again. So
and that's one of the things that we've talked about at the house as well, is that we always see you traveling. One of the things that I wanted to share with our viewers is you said that you were going to give us access to some of the footage that you got, that it just shows like how amazing. Well, I'm guessing one of your big inspirations is traveling, right?
Yeah, it's definitely something that just gets me out of the house. I like the idea of changing my environment. I feel that, especially being in Canada, it's so cold in the wintertime, I do get a little bit of seasonal depression. Okay. So in the wintertime, I like to leave that, I guess, environment just to push myself outside my comfort zone and, you know, try new things, try new food, meet new people.
I like that. So what would you say if there was, when it came down to like getting started, because we talked about it a little bit yesterday, I was completely unaware that you were into car sales, right? So I don't know, did you start with that?
Yeah, so not a lot of people know this, but I used to sell cars as my career, and if you asked me 5 years ago if I would see myself doing what I'm doing today, I'd be like, no. I feel like I'd be still selling cars, to be honest. And
what are some of the companies you worked for?
So I started with Nissan when I was like 16, 17 years old. And then I went to work for a used car dealership for a bit. And then when I moved to Toronto, I worked for BMW. Okay,
sweet. And then from there, what kind of like got your spark in what you do now? So I don't think they all know what it is that you do. So what got your spark into kind of wanting to learn more about it?
Yeah, so for me, I dabbled in a lot of different ways to make money online, sort of as just like a side hustle, more of like an interest. I tried a lot of different things before I landed on e-com, which is what I do now. So e-commerce, mainly selling on Amazon, private label, Amazon FBA. Those are basically what people might know it as. And I was dabbling in a lot of different things. Like I tried so many different things, more than I can count, before I basically landed on this idea of making an income online through selling things. Okay. So I started with like affiliate marketing, I even actually traded Forex for a bit, Bitcoin, that kind of stuff. So I understand the whole space, and I feel like doing all these different things have built skills that led me to be able to build successful businesses now. So even just stock trading, for example, like I took a stock course in high school, and that's how I kind of like understood the psychology of trading, and just understanding that it's more of a long-term game and you really have to take emotions out of the equation. So as a CEO and a business owner, I have to make a lot of decisions day to day, and those require me to take emotions out of the equation. I feel like maybe trading a little bit, also money management, learning all those hard skills that they don't really usually teach you in school, is super important, like financial literacy in general. So learning all these different skills kind of built me this tool chest of different skills to be able to build long-term businesses. I
like that. I think that's always been something that I've tried to share within the channel. Is like, I'm a big believer that I know that not everyone's like made for day trading, right? but I've always been a big believer that there's so many ways that you can get started for free with simulation and paper trading, and just like, you know, involving yourself and diving into like the idea of the market. I know that concepts that I've learned from trading in the market have been universal concepts that I've implemented when it came down to running a business, buying and reselling cars, investing in real estate, and even in some form of way, how you said in the psychology aspect of being like a CEO, being a business owner, that you do have to remove that emotional aspect on the day-to-day, right? And that challenging aspect. So I think that's absolutely like beautiful. It doesn't mean that you can't try new things or be afraid to try new things, but it's there's a specific like term for it, where you take a collection of skills or best practices from all various different type of like markets, and then you create like what you called a chest of what? Chest of skills? Like a war chest, or like treasure chest. A tool chest. Yeah, no, but you developed your own kind of like series of best practices based off of how you wired yourself throughout you learning about all these different markets, to now being in a position where you know, kind of began to take on Amazon FBA, which is kind of like your main focus, right? Amazon FBA and white labeling. Yeah, so essentially that's what I started with. So building brands and launching them on Amazon as a platform, just because they take up like basically half of all online sales in the US. So being able to launch products without having to spend money on advertising was something that appealed to me. Definitely. And I think a lot of people. So just utilizing what's already exists, like their infrastructure, their fulfillment centers, without having to, you know, open up my own warehouse or anything like that. I can send it to Amazon. They take a cut, but they do provide your exposure. Exactly. And almost that demand as well, right? Yeah, 100%. I want to ask you, so I don't want to even get too much into what it is that you do. We can, if you guys like this video enough, we can follow up with it, and I would love to get a little bit into more detail if you're okay with sharing that. But I want you to be able to explain, if you can, of course you can, but the difference from Amazon FBA, right, to drop shipping. I feel like drop shipping is huge, right? It's very popular. It's definitely, I think more widely known. But I want you just to explain, not even why you chose it, but what's the difference between the two? So drop shipping is definitely more entry level. A lot of people gravitate towards drop shipping because there are low overhead costs. You have you don't carry any inventory. You can literally start a website today and start selling literally today. Yeah. Whereas with Amazon FBA, so there's different ways that you can sell on Amazon. You can drop ship on Amazon. I know a lot of people who do that. So basically it's like arbitrage, where you find products that sell for less on a different website and you list it on Amazon's website. When someone purchases on Amazon, then basically you order from the third-party website, have it shipped to your customer directly, and then you pocket whatever the difference is, minus all the fees, etc. And then with Amazon FBA, so there's two different ways you can do FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. So it's basically where Amazon fulfills your orders for you. You can either send inventory from other brands, so this is like wholesale, right? You can order or buy products in bulk with already existing brand names. So people already know these brands, they trust them. And then basically you send it to Amazon, you list it, you can piggyback off of their listings that are already on Amazon. In some cases you need to create them from scratch, but most of them are already on there. People are already looking for those products because 2-day shipping, sometimes same-day shipping, just the convenience factor. And then basically sell someone else's brand. Whereas private label, you create your own brand. So you're just white labeling, you find a manufacturer that can make the products for you. You put your product branding on it, so like your logo, packaging, whatever it is, you customize it so that's your own, and then it becomes an asset that you own. So it's literally like you're building your own brand from scratch, it's your own business. If you want to exit later on, if you want to sell it 2-3 years down the road, you can, because you own the asset. It's almost like me, let's say for like TechBits apparel, right? If I wanted to list TechBits apparel on Amazon, I can get the wholesalers, it's like a regular t-shirt that anyone can print on. I just put my own logo and I tried to build demand for that. If I understand this correctly, the only downside on that is that there's not organic traffic already being directed to that, because it is your own brand in comparison to if you are if you're like not white label, like if you're Gymshark or something, right? Yeah, where people know Gymshark, they'll search Gymshark. Exactly, and there's already demand that's already going towards that, right? So exactly. What do you see yourself focus on more? In terms of like the
business models?
Yeah, do you focus a little bit more on white labeling or more of the other side?
Yeah, so I mainly do white label or private label. So I've built 7 different Amazon brands actually. Okay. They all launched on Amazon. They now also sell on their own website. And I also invest in other e-commerce brands and influencers who have an idea or a product idea, and I show them how to develop the product and how to get it to market.
So you take the concepts of what you've learned from the 7 brands you've built,
right.
And then with people that have a following, then if you see value in their idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
So we're working on some secret projects right now. Can't say too much, but I'm going to be in California meeting with one of my friends, or actually they're twins, I'll say that much.
Okay.
And we're working on some new products for them, which will be coming soon.
I like that. So again, guys, if you guys want to see a follow-up video and go in a little bit more in depth with what Melisa does on the day-to-day with her Amazon FBA and private labeling, then be sure to drop a thumbs up. What do you think? If we can get 1,500 likes, I think that we can get 1,500 likes. If we get 1,500 likes, I'd love to have you back, hopefully either in Arizona or we could fly out and meet up in
Toronto.
Yeah, maybe we might have to. The guys have actually been talking about visiting Canada. So it's up to you guys. Hopefully we earn your thumbs up. Drop any comments about what you would like me to ask you, especially for those that are aspiring e-commerce or overall. I mean, it still falls under the category of e-commerce, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything that sells online is e-commerce, basically.
But yeah, don't forget to follow her. I'm going to put her in the first link down below. So it's at Melisa. It's with 1 S. So don't forget to follow her. And anything else that you want to say?
No, make sure you smash that like button so we can get Ricky out to Toronto.
Right? Yeah, really do appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.